Hi guys, thank you for joining me. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. So I am still going to be doing my 100 squats after this video. I was debating whether or not to do this because, first of all, I'm not an American, hint, and second of all, I know that there's going to be so much controversy over this, so I'm bound to get a few, well, there'll be a lot of people who are either saying, what is it got to do with me, or you don't have the right to say anything, you know, just negative stuff. But yes, I'm not an American, but I am a mum. That's why I have an opinion. And as you will have known from my previous videos, I think maybe the one about Ukraine, I don't condone violence in any sense. Of course, I don't believe, you know, you might say to me, so do you believe in someone beating you up, you don't hit back? Of course I don't, you know. I also believe in self-defense, which is a bit contradictory, but you know. The point is, I was watching the news today about the shooting in Texas, at Robb Elementary School. I won't even try to pronounce the area because I don't want to be insulting, and I don't think I could. Ulvada. Okay, I tried it. Anyway, honest to God, when I found out about it, because to be honest, I've been watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, that's a different vlog. So when I heard about this, my heart sunk, because thankfully, even though I don't want to sound disrespectful to the parents, but thankfully not in the same way, but I have experienced losing a child. And you never get over that, you never do. You know, you move on with life, but deep inside you'll never get over it, ever. There'll always be that thought about it. You'll hear someone who's gone through the same thing, you know. But yeah, I don't know how to explain this. I can't really say that this should have happened, that shouldn't have happened, because I wasn't there. It's not my children. I don't work for the police force. I wasn't, you know, I don't know the circumstances. I can only go on what's been reported on social media. But I do believe that I agree with a lot of people in the sense that an 18-year-old, whether you class it as an adult or not, an 18-year-old should not have been able to get a gun. I'm sorry, I don't care what you think about that, whether you're going to be moaning at me and negative, but you should, if honest to God, 21 at least, you know, have some common sense, because 18 you're just becoming into yourself. I'm not saying people aren't mature at that age, don't get me wrong, but you know, I think I remember somebody once saying in a seminar, you're not fully developed in any scenario of your body until you're at least, I think it was either 26 or 21, don't quote me, but one of those, I'm pretty sure it was in the 20s basically. You know, your morals, your values, stuff like that, you're emotionally developed, mentally developed, well, not mentally developed, we won't go there, but you know, in general, you're supposed to be at the age where you've got common sense and you've got, you know, your rules. But anyway, so I just, it really confuses me how this guy even got hold of a gun. Who gave him a gun? What were they expecting? I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Americans, okay? I've got a few friends that have been American that I've known of, anyway, and America can be a lovely place. I mean, growing up myself, I know it as the land of dreams, where dreams come true, you know, that kind of motto. And yet you can be fantastic living in America, being an American, I'm sure of that. But in a country where you have so much technology, you're so advanced, and yet things like gun safety is a taboo. There's nothing, I don't know, it just seems like there's no actual, how to explain it, there's no sense of what is acceptable or permitted. That I know of. I haven't done my full research into the American statute about gun law, so I will admit that. So anybody who's thinking, well, you don't know a lot about the law, fair enough, I don't. And I admit that. But the thing is, you know, watching the news, it just occurred to me that schools in America, and again, I don't know how many schools, so I'm really, you know, no disrespect, but the fact that these schools, from even elementary, such a young age school group, the fact that any school, elementary, high school, whatever you want to call it, college school, the fact that you have a school drill for shootings is just beyond me, because it's like you're expecting that to happen. And if you're expecting, or you're planning what you should do in case of these things happening, that in a scenario itself tells me that it's not safe. Your school is not safe, no matter how many drills you do, evidently. And, you know, your country is backwards with that kind of idea. Who in their right minds? No, let me rephrase that. At what point does it get to, for people to have guns, that you need to have a scenario in these schools to keep kids safe? School is the last place you should have to do a school drill for shooting. It really baffles. I think, do you know what, to be personally honest, if I had a child that went to a school that had a school drill, I think I'd take them out. I would pull them out of school, because I'd be thinking, you're literally saying that we're just being safe in case there is a shooting. But my question is, why would there be a shooting inside a school? You know, you drop your child, or I drop my child off at school in the frame of mind that they're expected to be safe with these people who should be qualified, and I should expect to collect my child at the end of the day safe and sound. With a few complaints, but safe and sound. Not panic about someone getting on the ground shooting them. Now, that's my general thought on that issue, on the whole shooting inside the shooting drills, basically, as I would call it. And like I said, I'm in shock that these schools even have a drill. That these children, previously, before this horrible incident happened, that they had to go through such a thing. Because at that age, seriously, you should not be introducing that to them. You shouldn't have to. The thought of these children under the age of 10 going through a drill in case someone's going to shoot on school grounds. What kind of message is that sending? I know there's going to be people that's going to be completely disagreeing with me, and that's fair enough. We're on to our views. And then it baffled me when I saw a clip of this guy saying, you know, basically in his own little, I won't say aggressive tone, in a very shruggish kind of tone. Basically, I don't give a damn kind of tone. He was like, oh, you're not taking my right to have a gun away. You're not taking away my Second Amendment, or whatever it is, the second right, basically. Excuse me? Really? Really? You have a right to hold a gun. These children had a right to their lives. These kids had a right to live. These kids will never grow up. They will never take their exams. They will never graduate. They will never meet the love of their lives, have kids, get married. None of that. What about their rights? Yeah, okay, admittedly, it's not this guy's fault. He had nothing to do with it, but he's so gun happy. You know, is he even thinking, what about his kids? What would he do? Does he have kids? What would he do if someone shot them at a school? He'll program bloody shoot the guy himself, no doubt. But I don't know, I had such a strong feeling, and I have this platform, so there's just, you know, when I was reading, I'm not even going to lie, I was in complete tears watching these clips today, because these families are going through, it's bad enough having one family, but what, 19 families? And then to hear some of the kids that have actually seen this stuff happening, and they've survived, thank God, but they're going to go through trauma in their life. They have to live with that. You know, some of them having siblings, and the siblings are asking where their elder sister or brother is. How heartbreaking would that be every day? Not just to be reminded that your child has died, but their siblings looking for them, and they're so young you can't explain. You know, even this deputy, I think it was, of the area, I think, you know, he's trying to save these people, and he finds out it's his own daughter that was a victim. that would just, it's like a shot in the foot. Even I'm getting a bit phased out now. The teacher, and then I found out, catching up on everything, I found out that the husband passed away of a heart attack. I can't even imagine that in your own family. It's just so chaotic. And then to find out statistically this year, this is the 27th mass shooting. Hello? Is anybody listening to this? Not me, but the whole thing of it. Is anybody even listening to these facts? I honestly don't give a damn about the National Rifle Association and their happy-go-lucky thing with the guns and you have the right to defend yourself. These kids could not defend themselves. They were supposed to be in a place where they were safe, but they weren't. I'm not blaming the Guns Association or the Rifles Association. I'm not blaming anybody that's got a gun. But what I am saying is the law needs to change about those, your statute about guns. I know ultimately, don't get me wrong, I know ultimately it is this guy, Salvador Ramos, and God knows he's in the wrong. And bragging about what he's going to do. This guy had serious issues. I'm sorry. This is no offence to his family. If they're watching, I'm pretty sure they have had their own meltdown, their own things to deal with, especially having 19 families who, are upset with him, so therefore upset with the parents. But it's just chaotic, and I can't put my head around it, because it's 19 children and 2 teachers who protected these kids. I remember, I don't know if I've said this before, I'm actually studying to be a teacher. And yes, if my kids were, my own children or my classroom, if I ever become successful to be a teacher, I would protect my kids, because it's in you, it's who you are. And they've all lost their lives because of this. Yes, mainly because of this guy, but it's just the whole gun thing. I can't even remember what the school was. And was it a stabbing or a shooting? I remember reading about another incident before. It was another school. I think it was a high school though. I think it was a guy who was classed as nerdy. I don't do classification, but yeah. Anyway, the point is, there was another issue there with schools. It seems to be always mainly schools that I hear about, and it's bad enough it's one school when it's how many more. These kids have a right to live, and I can't imagine these parents waking up, tomorrow morning, whatever, knowing again, hitting that feeling again that they've lost their child. Like I've said, thankfully, but not so goodly, I've lost a child, and the feeling just doesn't get any better. So, again, I know there's going to be loads of people that are going to be criticising this video and probably being very negative towards me. And as far as I'm concerned, you're open to your views, I'm open to mine. But I'm coming across from the parent's point of view. You shouldn't have to go through this. They shouldn't have to go through this. And the video that I saw of him coming into the school and just happy go shooting, all these kids just scattering. I can't even imagine how scared they must have been. Just, and thinking they just want their parents and they couldn't even get their parents. And don't even get me started about the timing for these policemen to go inside the school. All I'm going to say on that is, yes, I know they will have had their rules or their duties, their instructions when they were on site, but as far as I'm concerned, I would have just gone in. I would have told my team, let's just go, because these kids need our help. And I don't know, ultimately I believe it is Salvador Ramos to be blamed. I think that if they'd have gone in there, there would have been a lot more kids that would have been saved. That is my belief. There is no fact to it, and unfortunately it is what it is now. honest to God, my heart goes out to these families. I know some people will say prayers are not enough, it's just words, but prayer can be powerful. And honest to God, I do pray for these families, because I can't imagine the pain they're going through right now. Especially these kids are such a young age. I've got an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. I could not imagine. I don't even want to imagine it. So yeah, I would like to say, however, if anybody's watching this and they hear anything about a petition to make change happen with the guns law, statutes, whatever, rules, whatever it is, please let me know about it, because I would love to be a part of that and involved with it, because I believe that there's too many issues around guns, just like there's too many issues around stabbings. I know there's many issues in my country with stabbings in London or stabbings around the country, and it's just chaos. It's too much, and if we don't change things now, it's going to be our generation, next generation, that is going to pay for it. These kids have already paid for it, you know, and nobody's changing anything. I think, was it was Jimmy, I can't remember his name, I'm so sorry. He does a show, he's called Jimmy something, and James Corden, they said it really well. They said that, you know, we hear about these things, we have our moment of sadness, and, you know, we want to implement change, but then people say we're going to sort something out or change it, and then it goes quiet for a while, things die down, it goes back to normal. And it's true. Clearly today, it's been, not today, on the day it happened, this week or last week now. Yeah, if you want change, you need to make it happen. I didn't have this platform when the BLM was active. And if we can do that, I think we can do the same for guns and knives, for anybody who's wanting to get that plan kind of going, the movement. Because guns, the issue around guns, it needs to change. You know, there's too many people that have lost their lives to guns. Not just in America, around everywhere, but we have to start with where the main issues are statistically. Like I said, no disrespect to any Americans, but when you hear these things and it comes from America, like I said, from a parent's point of view, if I was in America, I would be doing the same thing and I'll be saying the same thing, but as an American and a parent. So yeah. So I am going to end this video by doing 2 minutes of silence for all the kids and the teachers that lost their lives due to the shooting, and for the families that are suffering right now, and to let you know that my thoughts and prayers are with you. So I will say goodbye to you right now, then do the 2 minutes and then finish the video, just so you know. So yeah, thank you for watching this. I'm sorry it can't be any more happier, and I will do my squats challenge after this, hopefully if I can get myself to smile a bit better. So yeah, God bless, good night, thank you for joining me.